Yeah, we've had the pleasure of working with these all three of these gentlemen in different capacities. Kyle's doing some amazing things in the Carolinas, getting involved in his association, one of the most powerful associations in the country, in my opinion. Jason Babb has taken a what I would call a fledgling association and turning it into something incredible in Georgia. And Jerry McNee is part of the, excuse the expression, the old guard in New Jersey, and responsible for the amazing Northeast show and so many other improvements in his area. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. Um, let's do it like this. Let's start with Kyle. Why do you think associations are important? And maybe give us a specific example of how it helps one of your members.
Yeah, of course. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. This is like the Grammys for the collision industry, man. It's everybody, the who's who, man. So that's awesome. Kudos to you guys. Y'all are doing a stellar job. So and honestly, what you guys are doing today is what we try to do from an association standpoint, right? It's really about networking, empowering one another, and making each other better and holding each other accountable. Certainly, there's situations that I might go through today that a member might not encounter until 6 months from now, right? And so, being able to learn to basically learn and then lean on each other has been tremendous. And then that's exactly what it is for our members, right? I'm blessed and lucky enough to get to travel the country and hear people like you guys and just like vendors and just all kinds of stuff and man, that's awesome. But the majority of our members don't have the time or the resources to spend weeks at a time away from their business, right? They're so focused on working in their business. So we certainly have a responsibility to equip them with resources that they otherwise wouldn't have. And we believe that equipping them ultimately empowers them to basically make their business better and make our industry better as a result of that as well. So.
Yeah, I love that, Kyle. I just want to point out to everybody that these gentlemen that are joining us today are among other very powerful collision shop owners. These guys actually run body shops, right? People like Mel Allen. There's some other people that are on the call today that are really making a difference but these are body shop owners, right? And that's why I wanted to feature a few of them. Jason Babb's one of them. Jason, I've known for a long time. He's one of our mastermind members. Do tell us why associations are important in your eyes.
Well, first of all, thanks for asking me on here. And I really don't know why I'm here. I'm the green guy. We just started to try to revive the Georgia Association. The Georgia Association was very strong and kind of had fell to the side, and COVID kind of killed it off. So um, I've
That's
been part
exactly
of
why you're here, man, because you're
it.
stepping up as a
So,
leader and trying to
well,
revive it.
so I guess from that point, if anybody's trying to start an organization or restart an organization, that would be the view that I would have. And I am part of a very motivated board that has really put a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of heart and soul into trying to get this back going. We just feel like it's important and the question you ask, why is it important? We've been trying to visit shops and grow our membership, and that's what everybody wants to know. What's in it for me? So just being in a room full of like-minded people, to me, is worth every penny that we spend on it. Um, like Kyle was talking, no matter what you're going through, there's a 95% chance someone in that room's already been through that. You
Mm.
just need to find that person and reach out to them. Um, we try to provide speakers that are relevant, new processes,
I hear you've had some really good
new.
speakers at your
Yeah. We
association.
had this one guy that was pretty good. The very first guy we had, he was pretty good. But it keeps me motivated to be a part of something. So. Uh,
That's great. So Jerry McNee, Great to have you. This is your first time on the summit. Welcome, and doing some great things in New Jersey. I met him at the Northeast show, and tell us why you think associations are important and how it's maybe helped you personally.
Oh, first, I want to thank everybody for inviting me in. I didn't just thought I was the average person. I didn't think anything outside of that. And I could mimic Kyle and Jason exactly what they have to say. The associations are absolutely imperative, and you're looking for examples. I travel around the country. I'm fortunate in my business and doing what I'm doing. So I'm able to learn and gather a lot of information, bring it back to my facility. And like you said, we all are shop owners. So we eat, live, and breathe this stuff every single day. And prime example is giving back to the industry, our members. And I was fortunate enough to host a class with John Nikodowitz um, on Wednesday night. It was a 6.5 hour class. We had probably somewhere in attendees around 71 collision shop employees, owners, along with the vendors in there.
That's
and
amazing.
They really couldn't get enough of it. And when we bring this, and for me, traveling around and learning this stuff and being able to pass that advice on to others that are just inside their facilities, fixing cars, they really have to get out of their facilities. So if I'm able to bring that to them without them traveling and share my knowledge with them, I see that as a win-win. And I've been fielding calls yesterday, today, in regards to the class and more information. It's pretty powerful, and I'm happy to help. I'm absolutely happy to help them.
It's amazing. One of the things that comes to mind when I think about associations, fellas, is there's some states that are really trying to get this going, right? And what advice would you have for them to get started and to make it successful? We'll start with you, Kyle.
That's funny. I basically, I think you've heard of the statement being full of piss and vinegar. I think it takes a little bit of that, right? Like you certainly have to be persistent. And you got to have a little bit of grit to you, because if not, I mean, let's be honest, we interact with collision repairs every day. We're very abrasive, and we have our guard up, 100% of the time. We don't want to deal with people soliciting, our business. And the last thing we want is somebody else coming in and trying to tell us about this next best thing that they have, right? And so it certainly takes a little bit of that, I think, to get things going. And then obviously it certainly helps if you have a small group or niche of people that share the same goal and same vision as well. And that's just, what we've seen. I mean, we're still relatively new at this. I think we're 8 years into it, right? So it's not like our association's been around for a really long time. But fortunately, our nucleus of people were very, very strong shops and shop owners. And I think because of that, it certainly helped, like our vendor support and stuff like that. So man, obviously it takes a village to do it. I would say that, but certainly being persistent is some of it as well. I think Jason could probably speak better than any of us at that, just because they're kind of reviving that again, but and probably really experiencing that start over type deal. So
I'm going to go on Google piss and vinegar. I'll be right back.
yeah, you do that.
So,
come to Hickory, North Carolina. You'll see
so
what that's all about.
I want to brag on Jason for a second here, because what's thinking back to Scott Mann that opened the show this morning, and I don't know if you guys got to see Scott Mann. Incredible person. Some of the greatest leaders don't do it because they want to go, I'm a leader. They do it because somebody's got to do the frickin' work.
Yeah.
Right? They got to step up because nobody's coming to save you. And that's kind of what Jason did. And Jason, why don't you, that was another introduction there.
Well, I can't take the credit goes to the entire board. I've tried to do my part, but there's a lot of people that have done a
That's
lot
what
more
all
than
great
I have.
leaders say,
Now,
by the way.
I'm sorry.
I said that's what all great leaders say, by the way.
Well, and I want to second what Kyle said about piss and vinegar, because I will be honest, and we do know what that means in Georgia, but there's been a couple times I've looked at it and I thought, what in the hell have we got ourselves into here? But to people that are starting it up, some of my biggest thing is be patient. Just be patient, because it doesn't happen overnight. Getting other shops bought in, or you're probably the first time you visit or talk to them, may not be the time. You have to just be persistent and keep on doing what you're doing, and things will begin to go your way. One of the things that we have done is reach out to other associations and ask. We've been in contact with Kyle quite a bit and several other people, and I don't know Jerry, but I'm looking forward to reaching out to Jerry. But but the lost my train of thought.
Piss and vinegar.
That's right.
But we didn't find any association that would be just to pull that up and fit it in our state. But we've taken a piece here and a piece there and tried to put it together, and we're still figuring things out. So,
yeah, we're glad you're here, and thanks for your efforts.
Thank you.
It means a lot to the industry.
What about Jerry?
Oh, so I could tell you, I came to the association, somebody invited me in, and, I'm going to go back to saying that I didn't think I had anything to offer. So that was great. But as I started getting involved in the association and learning more about it, that was the place to be. So, example, when ABAT decided they wanted to do their trade show and they wanted to put an association together, and myself and Burl are pretty good tight friends. And he came up to New Jersey, him and Chad, and we sat down together and we went to the Northeast Trade Show, and I tied him in with Greco Publishing, and we got started with the association down there in ABAT. And I'm happy to be proud, to help these guys, and what I would say the little offerings that I could, but you can see where they have taken it. And then at some point in time, Brian Davis had reached out to me from North Carolina and asked about the association. And I'm like, well, this is a perfect opportunity to tie you in with Burl Richards from the ABAT, because they had just went through this process and started that. So, it's not an easy road or task. And I think people do it to help others, whether successful or not. It's not an easy task. But, again, I'll go back to my original statement. It's about giving back to the industry and helping others that don't know where to turn or what to do. So it's successful in helping these guys. And, anybody that knows me, I speak from the heart, and sometimes I speak a little too much. It's, if your baby's ugly, your baby's ugly. I'm going to tell you the baby's ugly. And
that's what I love about people from New Jersey.
Yeah.
They're not all nice like they are here in Nashville.
I've
do a lot of the BS that way.
I've had to learn to curb it back a little bit, but it's still there's still a lot of it in me, and some things I'd like to say that I won't say. But in fairness, I'm just going to be truthful, whether it hurts or not. And if I could help you in any way, shape, or form, I'm happy to do it. Absolutely happy. And the association is a good start for your home state.
Well said. And gentlemen, thank you so much for being an inspiration, for helping shops. I mean, there is no higher calling than helping your fellow shops out there, really. And so keep doing the good work and, supporting each other.
These are all busy shop owners, right? Making a difference in the industry. And I want to thank you. And I want to also thank, SCRS and other organizations that help support some of the local associations. Thanks, guys.